Let me ask you something. Have you ever waited for someone to pick you? Waited for someone to say, "Yes, you are enough. Yes, you are the one. Yes, I choose you." Maybe you waited for a job to call you back. Maybe you waited for a relationship to finally work out. Maybe you waited for your family to say, "We are proud of you." Maybe you waited for the world to finally notice you. I know that feeling. And if you are honest with yourself today, you know that feeling too. But here is what nobody tells you. The person you were waiting for was you. Now I want you to imagine a waiting room, not a hospital waiting room, not an office waiting room, but the waiting room of your own life. In this waiting room there are chairs, and on every chair sits a version of a woman. One woman is waiting for someone to love her before she starts loving herself. One woman is waiting to lose weight before she starts living her life. One woman is waiting for permission before she chases her dream. One woman is waiting for the right moment before she takes the first step. And they are all sitting there, quietly, patiently, waiting. Now here is the painful question. How long have you been sitting in that waiting room?
A month, a year, 10 years? Because here is the truth about waiting rooms. Nobody is coming to call your name. The door does not open by itself. You have to stand up. You have to walk to that door, and you have to open it yourself. Let me tell you about a woman.
I will call her Sarah. Sarah was a good girl. She did everything right. She studied hard. She worked hard. She was kind to everyone. From a very young age, Sarah learned one lesson. If you are good enough, someone will choose you. Her teachers taught her study hard, and the university will choose you. Her parents taught her, be a good girl and a good man will choose you. Society taught her, be pretty enough, slim enough, smart enough, and the world will choose you. So Sarah waited. She waited to be chosen by the university, and it happened. She waited to be chosen by her career, and it happened. She waited to be chosen by a man, and it happened. But something was wrong. Even after being chosen, she still felt unchosen. Because she had spent so long waiting for others to choose her that she had never once chosen herself. She had never chosen her own happiness. She had never chosen her own dreams. She had never chosen her own voice. She had never chosen to say, "What do I want?" And one day, everything fell apart. The relationship ended. The career felt meaningless. The validation disappeared. And Sarah sat alone in her apartment and realized something terrifying. She did not know who she was. Without being chosen, she did not know how to exist. But in that darkness, she finally asked the question she had never asked before. What if I chose myself? The awakening came on a Tuesday morning. Nothing special about Tuesday. No big event. No dramatic moment. She just looked in the mirror, and for the first time she did not look for flaws. She did not compare herself to someone else. She did not wonder what someone else would think. She just looked, and she said out loud to herself, "I choose you." 2 words. That changed everything. Now I know what some of you are thinking. That sounds simple. That sounds too easy. But let me tell you, choosing yourself is the hardest thing you will ever do. Because it means choosing yourself even when someone else doesn't. Choosing yourself even when the world disagrees. Choosing yourself even when you are scared. Choosing yourself even when you feel unworthy. Especially when you feel unworthy. Because worthiness is not something someone else gives you. It is something you decide. Sarah decided, and her life began to change. Not overnight, not magically, but slowly, steadily, powerfully. She stopped shrinking herself. She stopped speaking quietly so she wouldn't bother anyone. She stopped dimming her light so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. She took up space. She spoke up. She shared her opinion even when her voice shook. She stopped apologizing for existing. Have you noticed how often women apologize? Sorry, can I ask a question? Sorry, I just wanted to say. Sorry for taking your time. Sarah realized she had been apologizing for existing, apologizing for having needs, apologizing for having feelings. And she stopped. She started setting boundaries. She learned to say no without guilt, without explanation, without over-apologizing. She invested in herself. She took the course she always wanted. She started the business she was too scared to start. She stopped waiting for permission, and she stopped waiting for the right moment. She became her own investment. But I have to be honest with you, choosing yourself is not always beautiful. Nobody tells you that when you start choosing yourself, some people will not like it. People who were comfortable with your smallness will suddenly be uncomfortable with your growth. They will call you selfish, they will call you changed, they will call you difficult. And here is what I want you to remember, that is okay. Not everyone deserves a seat at the table of your new life. And nobody tells you that choosing yourself feels lonely sometimes, because growth is lonely. Change is lonely. Becoming is lonely. But the loneliness of becoming yourself is far less painful than the loneliness of losing yourself. And nobody tells you that choosing yourself is not a one-time decision. It is a decision you make every single day. Some days you will choose yourself easily. Other days, the old voice will whisper, "Wait, let someone else decide. Wait, see if they choose you first. Wait, maybe you are not ready." And on those days, you have to choose yourself anyway, especially on those days. Let me tell you who Sarah became. She became a woman who walked into a room, not hoping to be noticed, but knowing she belonged there. She became a woman who heard no and did not fall apart, because her worth was no longer tied to someone else's yes. She became a woman who loved deeply and fully, but from a place of abundance, not desperation. She became a woman who failed and got back up, not because someone cheered for her, but because she cheered for herself. She became a woman who looked in the mirror and instead of searching for flaws said, "I am proud of you." She became a woman who no longer needed the whole world to choose her because she had already chosen herself. And here is the most beautiful part. When she stopped desperately needing to be chosen, the right people started choosing her. Not because she performed for them, not because she shrunk for them, not because she waited for them, but because the real her, the full unbothered self chosen her, was magnetic. Confidence attracts.
Self-love attracts. A woman who chooses herself attracts everything she deserves. So I come back to you now. Right now, in this moment, I want to ask you something. Are you still in the waiting room? Are you still waiting for someone to tell you that you are enough, you are ready, you are worthy, you are chosen?
Because I am telling you today, you are enough, you are ready, you are worthy, and you do not need anyone's permission to believe that. The door of your life is right in front of you. You do not have to wait for it to open. You can open it yourself. Right now, today, this moment, you can look at yourself and say, "I choose you," not because you are perfect, not because everything is figured out, not because the world approved, but because you decided. That is all it takes. A decision. She stopped waiting to be chosen. The question is, will you?